everyone, welcome to another video. So today what I'm going to be doing is breaking down the key concepts and context for Katy Perry. Perry is not one of the artists who I teach to my students, so I'm not as confident in teaching this as I am for Taylor Swift, and it might be that you use this as a sort of basic structure of information that you then build upon with your knowledge from class and from your own teachers yourself, just so that you feel more confident with it yourselves. Hopefully, though, you'll still find it quite useful. Bear in mind that as we go through this, I do also have a full breakdown of the Roar video and have more information on Katy Perry in some of the other videos, so check out the music video playlist so that you can get up to date on all of those different pieces of information. Also, these key concepts and context are going to be trying to look at Perry as a whole rather than just the video, although you may find that this is more geared towards the video than the artist as a whole. As I said, I'm not as confident with Katy Perry as a whole. So looking at language then, which is more applicable to the video, we see Katy Perry being very confident, she's very powerful and independent, and she's also very dominant within the video as well. Now the video itself is very film-like, and there's a lot of intertextuality not only with Disney but also specifically with the Tarzan storyline, but we could also argue that this acts a little bit like an advert because of the product placement and synergy that we see with Nokia. Now, in terms of the industry, obviously we have that link in terms of both the synergy and product placement, but the artist herself, Katy Perry, is very active on social media and is actually within the top 10 Twitter users. The video itself and the track was released in 2013 and did face controversy due to its similarity to a song called Brave by Sarah Bareilles. In terms of the audience, though, very similar to Taylor Swift in that we're looking at predominantly a female audience, and we're going to have a very young primary audience from 16 to 30, but the secondary audience are likely to be parents so that they can spend the money on the merchandise and also on sort of funding the active fan-based lifestyle that some of the primary audience are likely to have. In terms of representation for Katy Perry as a whole then, within the video she's seen as very dominant and powerful both over the male gender and also nature within the jungle. But as a sort of artist herself, she's really positioned as a role model to women and girls who are obviously the target demographic. Within the video though, and within a lot of her videos, she's sexualized to fit in with the expectations of the genre and setting, which some people might argue goes against this idea of her being a role model. In terms of social context then, Perry promotes female power and dominance both through the narrative and representation that we see not only within Roar but within her other videos as well. And this is representative of the increase in feminism and the equality movement which was happening within society at the time of Roar but has continued since. Now the song Roar itself has very positive connotations and lends to the star persona of Katy Perry being a role model, as it's not a song that focuses purely on sex or sexualization and instead tries to sort of encourage this inner power within the audience who listen to it. Culturally though, there are arguments that the dress codes that Katy Perry has within the video could be considered a form of cultural appropriation, particularly as Katy Perry is this white woman going into the jungle and sort of commanding or taking over the jungle. Equally though, the narrative within the video draws upon inspiration from stories such as Tarzan, and although this perpetuates certain stereotypes of women and sort of the narrative, it is recognisable for the demographic, so it enables them to connect to the video on a deeper level in a way. Historically, Katy Perry has had quite the breakthrough, so prior to her breaking through in 2008, Katy Perry was writing and singing Christian music, which then contrasted quite greatly to the debut single of I Kissed a Girl, which did come out in 2008. This links to the idea that throughout her music and throughout her musical career, she's become kind of known for being a bit of a rebel, either through the revealing clothing or through her overall style and the way that she presents herself in her music compared to the beliefs that she has outside of this. Now, although Katy Perry, like a lot of the other artists, isn't as involved in politics as some of the others who we look at, the track itself was released during a period of stability under Barack Obama's presidency. And as I said in the Bruno Mars video, it's not necessarily a requirement to know the political context. They don't always or some of the things that you study don't always fit within that political context or have a great link to that political context, but it's useful in case the question requires you to know a little bit, or you can draw it in naturally to the answer that you're giving. Hopefully you found that useful. There's a few more key terms here compared to some of the other artists that we've studied so far, so make sure you understand them. Maybe make yourself some note cards or a glossary if you are following along with these over the course of the videos. If you haven't already, also subscribe. For every person who subscribes, you do get a shout out at the beginning of the video, so if you haven't had yours yet, pop a comment in the comments section below. I'm also desperately trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so that I can start using that community tab and to keep in touch with you all, which is something that you said you would like to see more of on the channel. However, if you want to get in touch with me for the moment, you can pop comments in the comments section below, or you can get in touch with me through social media at media_revision for Twitter or GCSE Media Revision for Instagram. I do read through and comment on every single post that you make, so do feel free to get in touch with me that way, and I will see you guys later.